Bitcoin is creating one of the largest traps no one is currently paying attention towards, because I'm seeing my entire feed full of people that are bearish and calling for Bitcoin to dump all the way down to $52,000. But I believe that you should not get fooled right now here, because Bitcoin is creating the next consolidation phase that is going to show us where the next breakout is heading towards, and it is not going to take long. And yes, indeed, on the imminent short term, we're trading in a slight little downtrend. So on today's video, I will be discussing my strategy on how I am going to be opening up this next trade on Bitcoin, and how I'm planning to make millions of dollars from this potential next retracement we're going to be getting, and how I'm exactly going to be opening up my trades on it. So without any further ado, don't forget to once again slap on the like button back above 1,000 likes. That will be highly appreciated. And yes, the market has been extremely boring, and yes, I'm talking quite about a lot of the same things, but of course that is because the market is so freaking boring. So without any further ado, slap on that like button and let me jump in towards the content. So here on the imminent short term, we can start to see that Bitcoin is of course creating that lower low structure on that 1 hour time frame, and of course that lower high structure at the same time. So all we're seeing right now is that Bitcoin of course is clearly trading in a downward sloping trend. And yes, the moment where Bitcoin is really going to be reversing this trend, we need to see a break above the previous high, which in this case is at high sitting around 65,000 US dollars. And yes, whenever we do break above that range high in the market, I am expecting the big reversal is going to be happening. But as long as we're not breaking above this high right here, I believe the downtrend is still most likely going to continue. And it's not a bad thing that we're currently trading in this slight little downtrend, because let me quickly explain this. So if I'm looking at Bitcoin right now here, I've said it multiple times before, I want Bitcoin to come back towards this orange box right here, because there I will be opening up my next Bitcoin long position. And if Bitcoin were to be retracing in towards this region, I am planning to be opening up more than $1 million worth of Bitcoin buy orders around this level. And yes, what we're all doing right now here is just creating a massive falling wedge pattern. And Bitcoin has clearly been trading in a significant uptrend. We've been going upwards and upwards ever since basically the beginning of this year. We've been going upwards and upwards basically ever since the midpoint of 2023, and ever since 2024 we've also only been going up and up and up. And right now all we're seeing is a massive reaccumulation phase with a massive consolidation pattern as well. And all we're seeing right now is Bitcoin creating a massive falling wedge pattern, and a falling wedge pattern in a bullish trend is just an enormously bullish pattern which we're currently creating. I mean, we're also creating a bull flag pattern, which is also a bullish continuation pattern, but you could be approaching it in multiple ways. And yes, if Bitcoin really were to be coming down towards the lower side, I would not see it as a bad thing. I would only see this as a massive opportunity. So if Bitcoin comes back to $58,000, takes out the liquidity on the lower side, I am definitely going to be a buyer, and I'm not going to be a bear who is going to be selling on the exact bottom, because all we're seeing right now is massive consolidation before the next rally is going to get started. I mean, right now as well, we're potentially seeing for the first time in the last 6 times the Bitcoin, and potentially right now also, quickly want to be discussing it, is that this is the first time in the last 6 times this signal has flashed that Bitcoin is actually going down on full moon. I mean, this is not all too bad here, but I just want to be pointing out that usually Bitcoin tends to pump on full moon. So if it's not going to be this time, it's most likely going to be next time. And yes, still on the RSI, we've not broken the downtrend, and whenever we do break the downtrend on the RSI, I'm expecting that we are going to be seeing that massive continuation towards the upside. So if you want to be joining me with my next trade here, I'm going to be taking on Bybit. Make sure to go to the link description of today's video, where you can find a link to Bybit, and where you can currently also claim a free $200 trade for only making a $100 deposit. And with this trade, you could make millions of dollars if you've got a good entry. So all you need to do to claim this trade is go to the link description of today's video, sign up an account if you come to the Bybit page, and after that, all you need to do is deposit $100 in your first 7 days, and boom, you could claim a free $200 trade on Bybit. So yeah, make sure to benefit from this deposit bonus since it's ending in an approximately 50 days. So make sure to use it right now. So Bitcoin is creating a very big consolidation phase. We've been consolidating for over, what is it, like 60 days right now here. And the longer this consolidation phase is going to be lasting, the bigger and more explosive the breakout eventually is going to be here. And I mean, what I want to be pointing out is that still clearly in this trend right here, we've seen first the funding rates going extremely high, which was indicating and meaning that basically a lot of traders in the market were actually very euphoric and thought that Bitcoin was going to go higher, and everyone was longing Bitcoin. But what we can see right now is a significant shift in trend, where the majority of the people are actually bearish, and where the majority of the people are actually shorting Bitcoin, thinking that Bitcoin is actually going to go lower. And we can see that from the funding rates going negative and getting suppressed from the highs already since March the 10th approximately. So funding rates are negative, People are bearish, sentiment is bearish, but due to that, the majority of the liquidity is being built up above us. And you can clearly see it if we're going to be looking at the short side liquidity. There's like, if we go all the way down to $56,000, or if we're going to go down to $58,000, there are going to be only $2 billion of Bitcoin long liquidations. While we're going to be looking at the short side, if we already go up to, what is it, $65,000, it's going to be more than $2 billion. But if we go up to like $69,000 to $70,000 US dollars, we're going to be already liquidate more than $8 billion worth of Bitcoin short liquidations. Due to the fact that there is more liquidity being built up above us, it is going to be actually way more likely that Bitcoin is eventually going to be moving up higher. And currently we can see that 68,000 US dollars is a massive level we should be looking at. You can see also loads and loads of liquidations around 68,000 US dollars. So whenever we're going to be hitting that level, we're going to be seeing a massive squeeze, and I think it's going to be inevitably going to be happening, but it's of course a matter of time. Currently, all we're seeing for Bitcoin is just massive consolidation. We're creating a massive bull flag pattern, and the moment we're going to be breaking out of this pattern, I'm expecting that the next big rally towards the upside and the altcoin season are going to get started. And whenever those two starts, I think that yes, that is the point where we're going to be making the most amount of money. And yes, if we're going to be comparing all these cycles before here, I mean 8 years ago, once we had that second Bitcoin halving, what happened afterwards was very boring consolidation before of course the ultimate run towards the upside. If we're going to be looking at the last Bitcoin halving, we saw also we had the halving, and what happened afterwards, we had extremely boring consolidation. Before then, the big rally towards the upside, and now we just had another halving, and what can we see so far? Extremely boring consolidation. But I want to be clarifying, this could maybe last for another 10 weeks or maybe even longer before that big bull run is going to get started. So all you need to do right now is be patient, and if you're patient enough, you are going to be winning. But of course, it could be extremely boring, but this is the time to be paying attention towards the market. And I mean, if you're inverting the chart, you can clearly see that we're about to be having a massive crash here. Bitcoin is retesting weekly, and Bitcoin is retesting weekly previous support, right now flipping into resistance. Or of course, if we are just going to be approaching it in the normal way, it's retesting the previous resistance, flipping it right now into support. And if you would ask me, this is looking extremely bearish, and this is looking extremely bullish. So please don't get fooled about what we're currently seeing. Bitcoin is creating a massive retest, and I believe that yes, any moment right now, we're going to get that next Bitcoin bull market. So once again, shorter update video. If you did enjoy the content, don't forget to slap that like button, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you guys back tomorrow on another update video. Peace out. Goodbye.